So we have sine theta here, and of course it is in r unit vector and it is in theta unit vector. So I can write that the magnetic field of a dipole B of r of a dipole is equal to mu naught m over 4 pi r cube, mu naught m over 4 pi r cube, and 2 cos theta, 2 cos theta in r unit vector plus sine of theta in theta unit vector. And this is the magnetic field of this dipole. So we got the two components here. Now if I want to find out its resemblance with the electric field case, because we were having the electric field as well for the dipole. So the electric field equation is completely similar to this equation, and that equation is that E of R of a dipole is equal. Now instead of M, now we will have the polarization term. So for the M we have the polarization term, the electric polarization. Mu naught here is in the numerator, so it will come to the denominator, and 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. So we have 4 pi epsilon naught r cube, and then the rest of the term is the same, 2 cos theta in r unit vector plus sine of theta in theta unit vector. So they are completely the same thing here. The reason for this thing that it is, if it is this case or it is this case, they are basically ideal dipoles. They are not the physical dipoles. They are ideal dipoles, or we can call them pure dipoles. Like when the sources are too close to each other, so that separation can be ignored and it is considered as a point. And we are far from this dipole, this pure or this ideal dipole. We are far from them, whether it is magnetic or it is electric, and far from them, their magnetic and their electric field will exactly look like the same. If we consider a physical dipole, like in case we consider a physical dipole like this, a loop, current carrying loop, and having a physical shape, or we consider a dipole plus and minus charges with comparatively more separation, then the result is not the same for both the dipoles. So we will have to keep this difference between the two in mind. And Griffith is showing their graphical representation as well, like the diagram for a physical, for an ideal or pure dipole is different from that of a physical dipole. So there are differences between the two. And with this, I hope we have covered all this, and only one example remains which we will solve after this one. And with this, our magnetostatics chapter will end. So we are in the last example of this chapter. This is example 5.3, and 5.3 example is saying that to find the magnetic dipole moment of the bookend-shaped loop, all sides having length omega, and it carries a current I. First, understand the figure. It's like a bookend shape, like you open a book and like this. So it is a bookend shape here. We are having basically like starting from here and then going back and coming in here. So the loop is like this, very symmetric loop. This is it can be considered is like two loops. So if I find the dipole moment of this loop and the dipole moment of this loop, this is the overlapping side, the AB side. So it is cancelling the dipole moment coming out from this edge is cancelling, because in one the current is going uh, this way if we split, and in the other it is going the opposite way. So the AB are cancelling. If I find out the dipole moment of this and the dipole moment of this, is all sides are having length omega, so it means the dipole moment of this will be equal to the dipole moment of this. The only difference between the two will be the direction of the dipole moment, because if I move this loop here, so this is the direction of dipole moment. If I move the current here, so that is the direction of dipole moment here. So if for example we are having this one is M1 and this one is M2, then I can write that the one, if I write M1, the dipole moment of M1, then what is the area of this loop? It is omega square, because two sides are omega and omega. So the length, the area of this is omega square times the current. So this is I times omega square. And what is the direction? The direction of M1, if it is this, so it is in y direction. Similarly, what about M2? M2 is I times omega square again, and now the direction is in the z direction. Is I told you the AB sides are the side which is AB, it is cancelling. If I consider the loop like completely here, so on this side the current is going here, like here, so it means the current is going this way. If I consider this loop, then the current is going the opposite way, is shown there in the figure as well. So it means that the AB segment is cancelling each other. If I consider the two, this one is M1 and this one is M2. So we have now what is the total dipole moment. The total dipole moment is M1 plus M2, and let's say this is equal to the total dipole moment M. So I can write that M is equal to I omega square and Y and I omega square and z. So what about the magnitude of m? So just like simple vectors, the magnitude of m is basically the square of this I omega square whole square plus I omega square and whole squared, and it is square root. So I omega square and I omega square, it will become 2 times I omega square whole square. So 2 will remain in the square root and I omega square will be coming out like this. So we have the total the total magnitude of the dipole moment is equal to 2 omega squared. This is the magnitude of it. And what about its direction? The direction is we are having the y in z direction involved here. If I consider this loop, then this loop is in the xz plane and it is along the y direction. If I consider this one, this is the xy plane and along the z direction. So here the contribution both along the y and z, they are equal. So it means what the direction of this? The direction of this will be a 45 angle, just like a book here. So it will be a 45 angle between y and z here, because they are equal. Is y is equal to z, their magnitudes are the same. So this implies that the angle between the two is 45 degree between the two, going in that direction. So this was a very simple example, very symmetric one, and we have the solution of it like this. And with this, this chapter goes to an end. Hopefully, we will start with the next chapter of the magnetic fields in a material. It is in the same sequence as we did electric field, like electrostatics, and then electric field inside a material. Then we did magnetostatics, and now we will move toward the magnetic field inside a material.